Hey guys, welcome back to Compound Interest. This is Maverick. So this is going to be a raw, pretty much unedited video. I have some quick channel announcements before we get started today, and the announcement is this is going to be my last video for a little while. I'm not sure exactly how long because it really depends on this whole coronavirus crap, and the biggest reason being is the fact that my kids are at home 24/7, and it's really hard for me to film these videos. If you look, I'm filming this video at 11:30 at night, and it's not really what I want to do with this channel. I want it to be more professional, and me shooting videos like this in the middle of the night or from my kitchen table really just is not the type of value that I want to. It's not the type of value I want to give you guys. I'm not producing the best content from my kitchen table, basically. And so I'd rather be in my office where I feel like I'm more professional. And I'm sure you guys aren't quite as excited either because you can't really see my face with the computer camera that I'm using. So when the kids go back to school and all this stuff kind of slows down a little bit, then I'll go back into making a video a week, if not even ramping it up to 2 videos a week. We'll see what happens because um, I still have tons of content that I have set ready to go that I want to share with you guys. Right now it's just not the right time for it. So with that being said, let's get into the other stuff we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to go do a quick technical analysis, and then I'm not sure if anybody's checked out my wealth building kit yet, but I'm going to go through real quick what's on it so you guys can actually see before you click on the link. And the link for that's in the description. Okay, so looking at the Dow Jones, we're trending sideways here right now. This looks like it could be a consolidation period, but right now we're holding support above the 55 EMA, which is a good sign because that technically means that we could break higher, possibly into this golden pocket range or up to the 200 moving average. And if you look at the RSI, it's right around in the middle, so we could break either way. This could potentially be a double top right here, where we topped here and top here, and we're going to roll over. Or we could follow the 55 and support and run up here to the 200. In my personal opinion, I don't see this market going much higher. I think we're going to end up rolling over and coming down here and testing these lows. And that's just from a technical standpoint. I have no idea what's really going to happen because the Fed keeps buying up everything, and now they're buying junk bonds and pretty much anything they can get their hands on to keep this thing going, and pumping all kinds of money and printing all kinds of money and quantitative easing and you name it. So personally, this is just all, in my opinion, artificial price movement that's being manipulated to make people think it's not as bad as it is. But like I said, I could be wrong. We could end up running up to new highs and then move on from this and then just keep trending like normal, like we were before. The reason why I think we're going to roll over going down is also because of this death cross right here. Typically, when you have the 55 moving or EMA move below the 200, that's a signal, a death cross, and when it comes up on the other side, it's called a golden cross. It's basically just a signal for a bear market that the trend has changed. And if you go out to the weekly, I'm going to show you this when I'm connected to the internet. Apparently, I don't connect to the internet. Yeah, so if you look at the weekly here, my computer for some reason likes to. The network is having issues recently, so it'll just randomly restart. So that's why I'm, turning the internet off and on. But if you look at the weekly, we haven't gone to a death cross yet, but this is a sharp decline, and we got this. If you look at it on the weekly, it almost looks like a dead cat bounce, and If this continues to roll over, there's a good chance that we can get a death cross here on the weekly. And let me show you when the last time we had a death cross is. I mean, look at this bull market that we've had for over a decade. God. Oh, sorry about that. I just don't want this computer to restart while I'm filming. Yes, reload it, please. Alright. Alright, so the last time we had this crossover was down here. And guess what it was? 2008. Last time we had a death cross was back here in 2008. And even though it was, short-lived from October to December, I guess that's almost a year, I guess. That's a decently long bear market. That's the last time this has happened. So, and that was a pretty dramatic time. And I don't see this coronavirus thing being any less dramatic than 2008. So the fact that we haven't got a death cross yet on the weekly, to me, just tells me that this is just being propped up. And that makes me nervous. So that's just my thoughts, though. You're more than welcome to disagree and say that, Maverick, you don't know what you're talking about. This is going to run back up here. Coronavirus thing is over. States are lifting their stuff. We can move on. Which, honestly, I hope so. I don't want there to be a recession or a depression and have the markets tank. But if you just look at what's going on around you with unemployment and jobs and businesses, I don't see how this can continue to go higher. But could be wrong. Moving on to crypto markets. That's not the crypto market. Jesus. Which one am we going to pick here? Let's just do Coinbase, because everybody's heard of Coinbase. Yeah, I get my chart has changed. Oh my god. Sorry about this. Alright. Much better. Lock the price here. Alright. So looking at BTC, we double topped here and came back down. But you can see the golden cross here on the 55 crossing over the 200. I don't know what's going to happen too much with Bitcoin either. I think there's a really good chance that we come down and test this EMA and then shoot back up and try and break through the 10K resistance. There's a good chance of that happening. But if you look at the RSI, I mean, it's just falling off a cliff. It's just going down here. And then you can also see down here, if you look, you can see the volume is tapering off as well, which isn't a good sign. If you want to break resistances and go to new highs or retest other things, you need volume. And right now, the volume is kind of dwindling, or at least it has been over the past couple days. So hopefully that'll go up, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. What I think will happen, and this is more of a long time, I think that we might roll over. This might cross back down, basically like this, where it's going to cross back into a death cross and then go up. So we'll go down and up and then break up through. And that could bring the price level back down here to 7,400. Or we could even go down here and test the 6K range again. I don't think we'll come back down here under 5,000. I think there's a chance that we can test this resistance. I mean, you can see that building back up here. This whole this whole pocket down in here. Let me draw this in here. This whole freaking pocket down in here. Basically anywhere around there. I can see us rolling over, touching this, and then shooting up, and then starting the bull run, because we just had the halving. And if you look at history, there's typically a bull market about a year and a year and a half after every Bitcoin halving that's happened so far. So that would put us, long into next year, or if it moves faster, typically these seem to happen in the fall. Around here we could go down, and then maybe in July or August or September we could start the trend up like we did back in 2017. We'll see what happens though. I made an awesome trade the other day. I shorted from this, basically, I guess this could be a triple top. 1, 2, 3. I shorted from up here and then bought back here. So I made a good 300% profit. And that made me real happy because it was just obvious. I mean, the volume was dipping off here and we just didn't have the momentum to break up through this. So that was an easy play. And I made some solid money on that. I had a small trading account that I'm playing with, and I basically tripled that account with that trade. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens with Bitcoin. Like I said, I think this is just going to kind of roll over, and we'll test somewhere in these regions, and then I think we're just going to shoot up, especially with all the drama happening in the traditional markets and the stock market and stuff. This is a perfect catalyst for Bitcoin to shoot higher, and a perfect reason for people to flood into this asset class. So we'll see what happens. Last thing I'm going to talk about real quick is the wealth building kit. If you haven't clicked on it yet, I'm going to show you guys what's inside of it, and it's this right here. Yes, I know I'm offline. So when you click on the wealth building kit, you will get all these things. 7 money myths that are killing your wealth potential. You'll get my 10 simple money rules that I follow personally myself that I wrote. And then you'll get budgeting worksheets to help you with personal finance. And then I got a Rich Dad Poor Dad PDF. Fantastic book. If you read this book and apply stuff, it will change your life. I can promise you that. And the same thing with Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. These 2 books, if you read and understand the concepts inside of them and apply them to your own life, they will make you better. And that's something that I promise. And don't even take my word for it. You could just talk to other people that have read these 2 books, and they will tell you that they will motivate you and will change your life if and only if you apply, obviously, the stuff inside of it, right? Because from my personal opinion, knowledge isn't power. Knowledge is only potential power, because if you don't apply it, it's useless. But that's just my opinion. So this is what you'll get in the wealth building kit, and I highly recommend that you grab it. Please see it in the description below. You'll see a link to it, and then you could just download all this stuff. So that's all I got today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. Hopefully not too long from now, but hopefully soon. Take care.